Greetings, African people. Today I'm going to talk about culture. I'm going to talk about national pride. I'm going to talk about ethnicity. And I'm going to talk about traitors all in one mix. And it's not going to be in that order. And I'm going to go back and forth. Now, recently I received a comment from a gentleman under one of the posts that I did regarding the missionaries that were killed in Jamaica. And this individual, you know who you are, said that Jamaica is a hellhole. And I asked him to expand because, everybody have different interpretation of what hell is. I wanted to hear what his hell was. And he explained to me, and I was not at all offended, even though some of the things he said were offensive, if you understand what I'm saying. But my position is this. When a white person goes on national TV after 9 people are killed in a church, or after individuals are shot, unharmed black men are shot and killed, and these individuals go on there and defend their own people, I'm not offended because I'm expecting individuals to stand up for their race, stand up for their people, be there in solidarity. When you go to Korea, the Koreans are not concerned that you're going to see them as rude. When you are a foreigner, the Koreans look at you with dirty looks when you visit their country. They'll actually come up to your face and show you that they don't like you. And it's very easy for you to say these individuals are rude, but when you look at their history, you'll understand why they're this way, why they choose not to forget, why they're not so inviting to foreigners. For example, in Korea, it is a known fact that some foreigners, especially those who are there to support them, because the Korean camp is divided with Russia on one side defending, I'm not sure if it's north or south, but I'll put that in the link. And then you have America supporting the other side in Korea. And so let's talk about the American side. Those who go to Korea to support this side of Korea, start relationships with some of the women. Some of these women become pregnant for these men, and when their service time is over, some of these men go back to the United States, leaving their children behind. So people want to present white folks as perfect individuals when they're talking about problems within the black community. Always make it seem like I can't date a black girl because she's ratchet, as they would say, or I can't date this black man because he is a home wrecker or because he is someone who abandoned his family, as if this is not a universal thing. Now, some cultures more than some. Western culture, on for the most part, tend to not value family, and it's not just a black thing. So in Korea, a certain or all of Korea, as far as I'm concerned, don't like foreigners, and they don't hide it. And they say we don't like foreigners because when they come to our country, they expect us to adapt to their culture as opposed to them learning our own culture and our own language. There's a bit of presumptuousness in that the Koreans don't like. They also complain about foreigners like Americans coming to their country and killing people, not just in defense or defensive strategy in warfare, but for example, driving on the road and using their vehicle to kill kids and leave without any kind of penalty. So the Koreans use their history as a kind of way to protect themselves. They remember what happened and they never forget. Now, this is not true of Jamaica. Jamaicans love everybody else but those who live in Jamaica. They love everybody else in the world except their own. They don't ever forgive their own for anything that they might have done. They're not into forgiveness of their own people, but they are very willing and ready to forgive individuals who have trespassed against them. And this is not just the individuals who you call a lay person, people without experience or education. This is the very top of the food chain. These are individuals who are running the country. They are very open to inviting everybody else into that space, giving respect to individuals. So even when you look at our music fraternity, you find individuals who claim that they're patriotic Jamaicans who live overseas, always, giving credence and bravado to foreigners, people who are in the United States of America or other places in the world, but they show very little respect to our artists. Now, I saw somebody talking about Shabarangs, and he was speaking about this man in such a disparaging way. It really affected me. Dance all Shabarangs who brought so much to the dancehall space, who got recognized earlier on, and bringing dancehall to the international stage. These are no-brainers who have nothing to do with patriotic. They might be dressed in the Jamaican flag and dressed in, the regalia of Jamaica, but they have no loyalty to our people, no loyalty to our country. They always find ways to divide people. So if you like an artist and they don't like that artist, they have nothing to say about these individuals, regardless of what they have accomplished in their life. Black people are a problem in of itself, making troubles in their own community sometimes and making trouble in the world. But at the same time, what they do is not that different from what other people in the world do. Other people do the same thing, but you'll find the same black people come out always naming their own people and not holding other persons accountable. You'll find the average black girl ready to demonize the black man because she had a bad experience with him, and praise the white man who does the same thing to other white women. So the thing is real, the disease of the mind is a terrible thing. But all I can say is the cultures that value themselves, who are proud of their identity, those are the ones who individuals want to, demonize. But these cultures like Korea and in certain places, in the East, these individuals are so proud of their culture that they hold on to it very tightly, and they're suspect of individuals who are from the outside. So if a person from China looks at me and treats me terribly when I come to that space, I am beginning to understand that they're doing the right thing to protect their own interests and that of their people. If the Koreans do not trust me as a black person, I shouldn't be offended because they don't know me. It is not right. It's not proper for you to just open your door to people that you don't know. These individuals should prove themselves before you give them that, open door policy. Everybody should be suspect because unfortunately, this is the kind of world that we live in. You don't know the mind of people. Individuals come around as friends and they're not friends. They're your enemy. Individuals come and make it seem as if they're interested in your culture, but what they really want to do is expropriate that culture. The individuals come around and start to say, oh, this is so beautiful, let me help you to enhance it, when really what they're trying to do is gentrify that part of your culture. So as black people, I have started to rethink how I view other people. I've said before that Chinese people were rude and disrespectful and all they do is want your money. But when I stop and think about it now, I'm thinking perhaps that is the way to go. Because at the end of the day, Chinese and other Asian people are not the only ones who are rude. Because when tourists go to Jamaica, some of them go there with their prejudice. Some of them going with the sense of entitlement. When they go there, tourism is one of our biggest industry in Jamaica, and people are very polite. People are very respectful. People understand that this is their bread and butter, so they try to protect that. And yet you'll find individuals go there and get masterclass treatment, and when they return, they have nothing good to say because when they went there with prejudice, they went there with negativity in their mind, and so you can never win. So let me ask Jamaica this question. How many individuals, how many foreigners come to Jamaica and make an attempt to learn to speak patois? How many people, how many foreigners come there and really want to try your food? Because people come to Jamaica as tourists and confine themselves in a hotel and eat the foods that they're used to, and see every person outside of that closed environment as a criminal. How can you really honestly say that people, you're selling Jamaica and people are in love with Jamaica? No. A lot of people that come there are looking for an escape, a fantasy. They're looking for an opportunity to get away from what they're used to, the humdrum of everyday life. But they're not interested in you as a people. And you don't try to tie this into the tourism industry to ensure that the experience is a full one and not one that is taped off and tied up and held off into a fancy fairy tale world. There's also another thing that Jamaican does is to allow hotels to come to Jamaica and build and take what is supposed to be an open space, what is supposed to be a natural resource like the sea for the Jamaican people to enjoy. And so you have hotel owners curtaining off areas of the beach and calling it their own. That should never happen. Jamaica is our land, our birthplace. And if someone comes to enjoy it, they enjoy it alongside Jamaican people and not at the expense of Jamaican people enjoying the natural ecosystems around them. So what I am saying today is that the people who we say are prejudiced or rude, the people who we are saying, are excluding us out of their culture, have every right to do that. What they are demonstrating is national pride. And so every time a white person come out and defend someone in their race who have committed atrocious, crimes or whatever, you should not take it so personal anymore. You should understand that is what people ought to do. Defend each other to the best of their ability. If that person has committed a crime, let the judicial system defend that person. Let the judicial system deal with that individual because that's what most people do. They will defend their own. They will stand by their own. We are the only ones who are quick to condemn each other, quick to say that, we are no good. We tend not to see any value in each other. I cannot say this enough. Any person who does not respect the legends among us, and there are many legends, not just people that but individuals who live in the ghetto, individuals who live in poor neighborhoods. We have many legends around us and among us. And until we can see each person as a true legend, we will never, never, never become powerful, a powerful people that we ought to be. So there was a guy that I used to watch on YouTube and admire him for his, commentaries on music and the music fraternity. But I've lost respect for him because I noticed time after time he continually disrespect the foundational people. He continually tried to dismiss people who have gone out in the world. Musicians like Shabba Ranks, Beanie Man. These people are Ninja Man. Let's not forget Ninja Man. I mean, I can't name them all in this video, but individuals who are grassroots people who have gone out there and done the work. And some of these guys in the past did not make so much money, but they go out there and they put in the work. Bounty Killer, one of those guys who have not just, raised the roof, but have brought other people along with them. We never respect the kings and the queens among us until other persons tell you who you are to revere. Bob Marley was not respected by Jamaicans for a long time, and most of the respect was garnered after he died. We don't value the people among us. These are the traitors who clothe themselves in the Jamaican flag and pretend like they care. And some of these traitors are not just people who live in Jamaica and left. Sometimes it's politicians who in secret and closed door deals sell out Jamaica. for their own personal interests, who make investments into other people's country and culture and leave theirs to rot. Black people have some serious issues. And the only time they run out here is when things affect them. We are the first to really, really, really condemn our own. We see virtue and value. We see talent. We see beauty in everybody else but our own race. Black people, you have problems. We have problems. We have big, big, big problems. So I have decided, I've made a concerted effort to not think about other cultures and how rude they are anymore. I just choose to look at it now as if these persons are protecting their interests. They are trying to make sure that the world see them as wonderful, and there's nothing wrong with that. We could take a page out of their book. We trust everybody. We believe everybody. We invite everybody but our own. Be blessed, African people. Think on these things.